In today's video, we are talking about the linebackers because Georgia defensive coordinator Glenn Schumann was talking about his linebackers earlier this week with the media. He had a lot to say, talking about his inside linebackers, talking about his outside linebackers, a lot of guys in general on defense, but we're going to focus on the linebackers today. He's the best linebackers coach in college football. You can make the case he's the best defensive coordinator in college football. He knows what he wants. He knows how to recruit. He knows how to develop, and he's got a very talented group at inside linebacker and outside linebacker coming up for the 2024 season. So let's jump into it, right? Let's start with the outside linebackers. Here's his overall assessment and quote from that group. He said, obviously, there's the utmost respect for Chaz Chambliss and what he brings to that room, and he has been a better version of himself the entire offseason. I think he's really attacked areas where he's needed to grow. He's affected the passing game. He's a tough, gritty player, kind of sums up that whole room in a lot of ways. He went on to talk about how you have to be versatile at outside linebacker. You're not just rushing the quarterback, right, on third down, right? You've got to be able to play first and second down. You have to be able to cover. He was talking about Robert Beal Jr., a former edge defender from 2 years ago, and how he had to cover Emeka Egbuka at Ohio State, right? The Peach Bowl. And that's what you have to do. You have to be able to cover. You have to be able to tackle in space. You have to help in the run game, hold the edge, right? But you also have to know how to get to the quarterback in different ways. And there's a lot of guys on this roster who can do that. One of them is Mykel Williams, but I want to finish up, before I talk about Mykel Williams, I want to finish up his quote with the outside linebacker group. He said, that's part of their job responsibility. You have to be able to set edges and rush the passer because of the style of defense we play. It's really a hybrid role, even though it's an edge guy. These guys in that room, they all kind of have attacked their weaknesses in the offseason, whether they put on weight, gotten stronger in the run game. Gabe Harris has been a positional player who has really just been a hand down in before. Now he's a more well-rounded player. He talked a little bit about Sam Mpemba. He's a guy that didn't play a ton of outside linebacker before his senior year at IMG, so he's grown a lot as a football player. That whole room has really done a good job. Those guys that are in that room, I think they've all attacked areas where they've needed to improve, which is what you expect of people if they want to grow, and they've done a really good job. I'm pleased with that room to this point of things. And he didn't even talk about Damon Wilson, a guy that we've been hearing a lot about from other people. So he's got some talent there, and he's got some second-year players, if I can get that out, who are hungry for playing time. Gabe Harris, Sam Mpemba, Damon Wilson, all are looking to find their way in this defense. So as a whole, that outside linebacker group is phenomenal. And there's a guy, might be one of the best players on the roster. Actually, he is one of the best players on the team, maybe the best player, and that's Mykel Williams. He's going to play a little outside linebacker too this fall. Actually, probably more than you expect. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But first, got to do it, right? collegebronze.com. Get your Georgia Bulldog today. They are made in Roswell. Local product for the dogs. You're going to love it. You want it on your front porch by the time they play Clemson. I guarantee it. Here's where you get the promo code, the discount, DOGPOST, DAWGPOST. The link is in the description below in this video, so make sure you take advantage of that and get it. Get it today. The season's around the corner. Get it today. Okay, Mykel Williams. Here was this quote from Glenn Schumann on Mykel Williams. Let's dig into it. He said, because of the style of defense that we play, the different personnel groupings. Man, what a bad video so far. The packages, the way we rotate and mix and match based on our opponent, the situation, the game, I think it gives an opportunity to dual train guys like Mykel Williams, Jaylen Walker, Gabe Harris. So I can stop reading for a second. He just wants these guys to be versatile. He wants them to be able to do different things, line up in different situations. They're all stunting half the time anyway. But when you have so many guys who can play so many different positions in different ways, and you can mix and match like he's talking about, they play to the offense. Whatever the offense is trying to do, that's what Georgia's going to dictate, and they're going to sub and do whatever they can at any particular moment because it's all about the matchups. And we have a guy like Mykel Williams who matches up well, at an outside linebacker, role on 1st and 10 to help stop the run out there. Or you bring him inside on, a 2nd and 8. Boom, you got 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5. Then you can move him to the edge and he can rush the pass. There's so many different things you can do with Mykel Williams because of his length, his athleticism, his explosiveness. And Jaylen Walker's the same way. And I'm going to talk about Jaylen Walker right now. Here's what Glenn Schumann had to say about Jaylen Walker. He said, I think we have a responsibility in two ways in everything we do. One is to do the best for this team and this defense to be successful as a unit because those guys care about the collective goals. That's the part why they came here, the connection and the ability to play and compete for championships and play great defense. Two, we have a responsibility for each player to put them in the best position to have a career in football if their ability gives them the opportunity to do that. With Jaylen, we have to expand his role because he's a talented player, and the best way to expand his role is to continue to develop him as a hybrid player while also maximizing his opportunities to do what he does best. He's really improved in both those areas, and the way he's attacked practice, both from an effort and a leadership standpoint, has been very impressive, so I'm excited about where he's going. I nailed that one. I can read. Jaylen Walker can play. That is a guy who can rush the quarterback. He's one of the best pass rushers on the team, maybe the best pass rusher on the team. He looks like he could be a professional wrestler right now. He's all muscle. He's a smart kid. He understands his role. And again, a guy who can help stop the run in the middle of the field, can make a tackle in the open space. He can blitz. He can come off the edge. He's a smart player who can line up like he's playing zone and then boom, go blitz the quarterback or play close to the line of scrimmage, then drop back in coverage. He can do a lot. And in year 3, I'm expecting big things from Jaylen Walker and Mykel Williams. This is a money year for both those guys. And they're both guys that can play multiple positions. The NFL is going to love that. And I think that Glenn Schumann is going to love it too. And Kirby Smart's going to love it. And you're going to love it. You're watching this video. Let's talk about the inside linebackers real quick, okay? Smile Munden, C.J. Allen, Raylan Wilson. If you're familiar with my work, if you're familiar with Dog Post, I've been talking about these guys all offseason because they're really, really good players. It starts with Smile Munden, who is getting better. He's getting healthier. He's a difference maker when he's out there. He's battled through some injuries throughout his career, but he is good to go. From what Glenn Schumann said. Here's what he said. He said, Smile is doing a great job in his rehab. I would say he's exactly on track. He was moving around really well yesterday. We have a plan for him. He's following the plan with maturity that you'd expect from a guy in his experience level as both a player and at his age. I messed that one up. CJ and Raylan really benefited from this spring, having the opportunity to take over heightened leadership roles and in bowl prep, and they've only grown from that. And I think you've seen an increased confidence in them. And those guys are really mature beyond their years in terms of how they prepare. So they've been growing every day, and I'm excited about how they're going to play this season. There's a lot of coach speak from Glenn Schumann. He's saying all the right things, but these guys are really good. And C.J. Allen and Raylan Wilson got a lot of experience towards the end of last season. They both started against Florida State. They played a lot of football, a lot of important football as a freshman. That's only going to help them this year. And it's not like it's both of them and that's it. Smile Munden, when he's healthy, is their best linebacker. So it's not like the defense completely depends on C.J. Allen, Raylan Wilson, Jaylen Walker. Justin Williams is a 5-star that I think is really flashing. That's what I'm hearing behind the scenes. Chris Cole is another really good freshman linebacker. They've got a lot of talent there. A little inexperienced outside of Smile Munden, the senior, but a lot of talent and a lot of guys who get it. And if you're able to see the field and play at Georgia, it's because you understand your role. You know what you're doing. The coaches trust you. And these coaches are smart dudes, right? And they know how to teach. And he talked a little bit about that. And again, you can read all of this over on Dog Post for free, every word. So you don't have to hear me stumble over it. But part of my job is to make videos and give my thoughts on what the coaches are saying. So I'm trying to tell you what the coaches are saying, trying to give you my thoughts on it. And then we roll like these dogs. And this Georgia Bulldog linebacker crew, it's a good group. It's a real good group. And overall, outside, inside, I think Glenn Schumann is happy where he's at. He'd like a little more experience, I think probably on both ends. You can never have too much depth. But the talent that's there and the talent that has the possibility to have a breakout type of season this fall is easy to notice. They've got a lot of leadership, guys who are growing into leadership roles as well, especially at linebacker with Jaylen Walker, Mykel Williams, C.J. Allen in just year 2, I think is going to take on more of a leadership role. Chaz Chambliss at outside linebacker, who's going to play, whether you want to see him out there or not. I mean, he is a quality, impactful option. He's just may not be the most talented and the most natural pass rusher, although he does get to the quarterback, I think, more than people realize, and he did a great job of that out of high school. But is what he is. He's going to play a lot, and a lot of these linebackers, I think you're going to see a good amount of them throughout the season. Thanks for watching. Get your Bulldog today. Promo code DOGPOST, DAWGPOST. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the website.